Let's begin with that top-secret Henderson-Brooks Bhagat report on the failures of the 1962 war. It's been leaked by the Australian journalist Neville Maxwell. The government has kept this report under lock and key for 50 years, although one copy had been given to Maxwell by his sources. The report is deeply critical of India's political and military leadership during the war. It says Nehru's forward policy certainly increased chances of a conflict. It added that the government and the military were not on the same page and that the military was not prepared to carry out Nehru's political diktats. It also highlights the deep disconnect between the army headquarters led by General P.N. Thapar and his various field formations. Finally, it outlines tactical reasons as well for India's defeat. Now, one example of the disconnect at the top was the conflicting advice that was given to Jawaharlal Nehru from the Intelligence Bureau, which said that China would not react to India's forward policy. The army, however, said that China would resist with force if any attempt was made to take its territory. Here's what the report says in detail. First, that the forward policy certainly increased chances of conflict. Second, while the forward policy was politically desirable, the military was in no position to implement it. Third, the army headquarters gave no operational or intelligence appreciation to its field formations. Fourth, that the army headquarters did not convey those decisions to reinforce forward units to its field formations before the war. Fifth, if such a decision had been conveyed, in fact, then the Western Command would have informed headquarters that they would be unable to implement it. And finally, that the forward policy was implemented by army headquarters without adequate backup. Defense scholars and experts have come down heavily on the government for keeping the report secret for so long. Listen in.
So I've had occasion to read this report, but one thing that was stark clear was that the lessons of 1962 had not obviously been learnt, because we made the same mistakes again in the Sri Lanka episode. These are necessary for us in order to for subsequent generations of officers dealing with planning and operational preparedness, to make sure that the same mistakes are not repeated again and again.
Meanwhile, the opposition BJP today criticized the government for keeping this report under wraps for 50 years. Neville Maxwell himself has hinted that the report has been kept secret because the Indian government has been trying to protect a certain party or perhaps even a certain family from embarrassment. The release of the report has raised several pertinent questions. 5 decades later, why is this report still top secret? Second, why did successive Congress and BJP governments not declassify the report? And finally, who is the government trying to protect, as Neville Maxwell over there has alleged?
Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru asked his